a massive low-pressure system, what forecasters are calling a bomb cyclone, slammed into Australia's east coast over the weekend. Coastal New South Wales was hit first, with wind gusts reaching up to 125 kilometers per hour, and rainfall totals exceeding 200 millimeters in just 24 hours in some areas. The result? Flash flooding, downed trees, widespread power outages, and coastal towns left submerged. Waves as high as 6 meters pounded the shoreline, with severe erosion destroying seawalls and beach infrastructure. This isn't just a typical winter storm. This system intensified so rapidly, it triggered high-end warnings from the Bureau of Meteorology, rare for this time of year. As the storm made landfall, Sydney Airport was thrown into chaos. Heavy winds and horizontal rain forced dozens of flights to be delayed or outright cancelled, including both domestic and international routes. Stranded travelers flooded the terminals, with airline help desks overwhelmed and rebooking delays stretching into the next day. By midday July 1st, flight operations at both Sydney and Newcastle airports were operating at reduced capacity, with airlines issuing severe weather advisories through Wednesday. It's not just the skies that are a problem. On the ground, entire streets have turned into rivers across suburbs of Sydney, Wollongong, and the Central Coast. Dramatic footage shows vehicles floating through intersections, backyards submerged, and residents forced to flee their homes in waist-deep water. In the Shoalhaven and Illawarra regions, emergency responders say rainfall overwhelmed the stormwater systems within just hours.
Tropical cyclone.
Even some emergency vehicles struggled to reach trapped residents due to submerged roads. The New South Wales State Emergency Service has now recorded over 1,300 calls for assistance and more than 200 flood rescues, many of them people trapped inside homes or cars. At least 500 residents have taken refuge in emergency evacuation centers across the region. More than 11,000 SES volunteers were activated statewide, equipped with boats, drones, and helicopters. Meanwhile, local authorities continue to warn residents along riverbanks and flood-prone areas to prepare for potential evacuations. In some towns, the evacuation orders came with just minutes of warning. So, is it over? Not quite. Meteorologists warn that the storm system could continue dumping 100 to 200 millimeters of rain as it drifts southward through July 2nd. Flash flood warnings remain in effect for large parts of the South Coast and Blue Mountains. There's also growing concern over landslides, with saturated soil conditions and elevated terrain around the escarpment zones. Residents in at-risk areas have been urged to stay off roads and avoid low-lying bridges. The Bureau of Meteorology has called this storm a high-impact winter event, one of the worst to hit the East Coast in recent memory. Authorities are urging the public to stay alert, stay indoors, and monitor emergency broadcasts. If you live in an area under a flood watch, don't wait. Move to higher ground, prepare a go bag, and check on neighbors who might need assistance. Remember, just 15 centimeters of moving water can sweep a car off the road, and floodwaters often hide dangerous debris or power lines. While no deaths have been confirmed yet, emergency services are calling this an ongoing crisis and expect conditions to worsen before they improve. We'll continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as they develop. If you're watching from Australia, our thoughts are with you. Stay safe and stay prepared. For more real-time coverage of global disasters and breaking news, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay informed.